Alrighty, hello you guys. So we're gonna be coming a little bit closer today, coming at you. But I wanted to actually talk a bit about more health updates, just because a lot of things are shifting. I don't even know where to start. So I do want to say that I am getting more into a ill-fitting clothes territory. So a lot of my outfits, like I'm really in between a 2X and a 3X. So it's like I don't quite fit in a 2, I don't quite fit in a 3, you know, it's very loose or tight. It's kind of weird. But I want to talk about some of like the mental shifts, because there has been a lot of those. And first and foremost, I'm going to just say it, my libido has shot up very recently. I would say around a week ago, I noticed that it was like much higher than it has been in a very long time. I would say probably since I was like 21, 22, like that range, like really young. And I understand that a lot of these PUFAs and, you know, these kind of things they have bad effects on testosterone, as well as like mineral deficiencies and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I think that what's really been happening is I am getting better. You know, I think I started going to the gym in early November, as you guys know, and I think that it's been long enough now where I've gone without the PUFAs and stuff, where I'm starting to feel differences in my fats and stuff. Like I'm feeling differences in how my body utilizes energy. I'm feeling differences in my stress responses and stuff like that. Like when you're really bad thyroid wise, when you get stressed or triggered, it causes like a full body reaction that lasts sometimes hours afterwards, at least an hour. And like last night, I felt my body going into a sort of reaction. I tend to get these at night because, again, at night your estrogen and stress hormones are higher than during the day. That's why a lot of people have insomnia, because those hormones go up and your thyroid goes down, and, you know, so if you're hypothyroid already, it's a lot worse. So if you're the type of person where you can't sleep until 5 a.m., until the sun starts coming up, it's because of a hormone issue in you. But basically for me, I was, you know, I was having one of those moments last night where my heart started racing a little bit. Like, I guess I saw something and it got me a little bit excited, or it triggered me, or whatever you want to say. And I noticed that within about 5 or 10 minutes, you know, of laying in bed and stuff, and my heart kind of beating fast and stuff, it went back down. And that was really, really fast. And then I actually got tired and I went to sleep. So that was crazy to me. And I've learned a lot about like PUFAs and like the effects they have on your fat stores, and how like in nature we typically would only be eating PUFAs under times of stress or times of famine. That's when people would be going towards, you know, seeds and nuts, and even more fish and stuff like that, because it has to do with there being less prey, it has to do with there being less fruit, less food, you know, all these different less. So what happens is the body has differences in stress responses. It has differences in in stress responses, differences in mood, differences in everything, because your body's trying to survive. And I think in the Western diet, we really only ever have a survival mode. And I think that as that survival mode gets longer and longer and goes on more and more, from generation to generation, I think it gets worse. And I think what's happening is that it really is affecting people's moods about things, because I'm now like, I'm at a certain point where now my mood is so different than it was a year ago that I don't relate to things the way I used to. Like, I don't, like if I look at like something political or something online or, you know, drama or something, like I was watching this live stream, and this guy, this Enactor guy, or Mike Enactor or whatever, he was talking about Adam McIntyre and like critiquing his drama videos. And just listening to Adam McIntyre, like the anxiety in his voice, the sort of toxicity and the shit talk and all these different things, like it really just did not make me feel that good. Like, it stressed me out. It made me feel like, ew, like he's so awful to listen to, you know? That's how it felt. And I think like in the past, like I used to enjoy that kind of content because it's that sort of thing where it increases your stress hormones, and so it gives you energy. And I'm realizing like at this point, I don't get energy boosts from that. If anything, it takes my energy away, because I've really been shifting to in terms of like organization and, you know, like keeping a cleaner apartment and these kind of things. Like I've noticed that within a week ago, like a real shift where like we were having Thanksgiving and stuff, and me and my mom, we both like cooked things. I made pies the night before. I did the whole damn thing, and I cleaned up afterwards and everything. And I just remember like my whole life, like every time I would try to clean stuff up or try to clean up after myself, or, you know, just try to organize after I had cooked, especially, that's like a super trigger, right? It was so hard for me. And I'm like, gosh, like, was that just the PUFAs? Like, because this is so easy today. Like, I just do all the stuff and then I just put it away. It's like nothing. And last night I wanted to clean my room. Like, I didn't like it. I felt like it was really disorganized. And so I organized it. I took an hour and a half from like 2 a.m. to 3:30, and I just did it because I'm like, what's the point in waiting? Like, I don't have any reasons, and I'm going to keep cleaning because it's like, for the first time in my life, like keeping a clean place is easier than not, because like the stress or the sort of chaos of having a messy place, it's actually irritating now. And I think before it was motivating, or like, again, stress and stuff was energizing, and now it's not. So now like I cleaned up my room and stuff, and I just feel relief. And it's also like I notice my vision is getting clearer and clearer. Like, I first experienced it in September, before I had even stopped eating sugar and candy and stuff. I experienced my vision getting clearer so I could see at night, so I could work later. And now, like, even in my house, like in my apartment, like, we put up the Christmas tablecloth and it's like clearer to my eyes. Like, everything, even now, like if I look around, like my vision is just better. Like, I can see things better. And so in a way, like I can see messes more, you know, I notice that kind of stuff more, and it bothers me, and it didn't used to. And I think it's because like when you're in a survival state, like a lot of these very low-key things or sort of minor things, they just you don't notice it as much because it's hard to notice, like, gosh, like there's a piece of trash on my desk that's been there for a couple months. Like, you just don't notice that when you're like flight or fight, or you're watching drama videos on YouTube, or you're really invested in like political hoo-ha and stuff, which I still am, but I feel like I am less though. It's like I feel like I can't relate to myself anymore. Like, I can't relate to what I've done on YouTube. I can't relate to how I've lived anymore, and that's really, really strange, because to me it's like, I don't like living under Biden. I don't like the inflation. I didn't vote for any of this crap that's happening. I didn't. I voted in direct opposition to all of it. I campaigned. I did everything I absolutely could to prevent the situation that we're currently in. And it's like, I don't want to live under it. I voted for something else. Like, and instead of just like boo-hooing and crying about it, like, I'm like, I really can just leave. I can. Like, I'm thinking, I've thought about like how I've had issues my whole life, and just like, I wanted something different, and certain things with Australia are opening up now, and like, for the first time in a really long time, it's possible for me to go there. And so I'm kind of like going through a lot of different shifts right now, where like, especially hormonally and physically, a lot of the limitations I had are gone. And then even like some policy things, like even with Australia, like the visa that I was going to try to go, I was going to go there with, it just clicked. And they are changing it as of December 1st. So anytime after December 1st, technically it's on me. There's nothing holding me back from chasing my dream again. And that's like huge. But instead of, it's not even just that. It's like, I don't have the physical limitations I did. I don't have the hormonal limitations of like not being able to pay attention to things, not being able to focus, not being able to have energy to get up and clean a room, like to get my finances organized, to do certain things, just to be more on top of stuff. Like, it was so much harder a year ago, like so much harder. And I'm still struggling a bit, like financially. But I think that this might be the end of that, because I'm actually doing better, like mentally. And I think like as I clean up and I'm just getting more organized, more efficient with certain things, like I think it's going to continue to get easier. And I think a lot of times I have those feelings of like, I want to do well, but not too well, because if I do too well, then my stress will go down and then I'll feel tired, and that's going away. I don't have that reverse incentive anymore of like, gosh, if I don't have this stress, what am I going to do? Like, if I don't have stress, I'll be fine. And I will say that, my hormone levels and whatnot, they're probably around summer 2014 at this point. Like, I remember how this felt. I'm kind of at the end of my insomnia, but I'm a little worried because I know after the insomnia comes depression and sadness, and I have been feeling some of that. Sometimes it comes and goes. It's very mood-based. It's not like an actual depression, but I guess just moody, like very sad. Because I'll feel sad and then it'll go back up and I'll be okay, and it's like that sort of nervous energy that I've had for so many years is going away, and I'm feeling more calm, more and more calm, and I'm feeling like I just want to enjoy my life. Like, I look towards the future and I'm like, I have goals, I have a place that I'm, working towards going, I have a purpose, I have things that I want to do. And all this political bullshit, like, it's temporary because I'm not going to be here for most of it. So I just have a different mindset. That's at least how I'm seeing it. And it's like, I'm just going to focus on my day-to-day life probably more. I started writing again. And that was really interesting. Like, I can actually handle the emotionality of what has happened. So I don't know if there's enough time that has passed or if I just feel better, I have energy. It probably is that, but I did start writing my book again, and it was okay. I didn't write yesterday because I was exhausted, and I think in some ways, like, I'm realizing creativity, especially at this point in my life, it requires a level of organization to make it more efficient. So, like, I'm working on my computer setup, like, I want to play Sims again, I want to do certain things again. Because I'm just feeling more like fun oriented than I felt in a very long time. And so I think, like, for a lot of my creative processes, like, be it YouTube or my writing or different things, like, I'm just realizing, like, how important it is to be organized. And I might actually make a schedule. Like, I've always talked about making a schedule, but I might actually do that because, like, I want to write a novel too. I want to write this book about Rona. I want to do some Sims content on YouTube. I want to have a bit more fun on here in the future. Like, I don't know when, I'm thinking next year, but I'm just kind of reflecting. I think everybody reflects towards December on the year and the year ahead. That's kind of what I'm focusing on. And it's like I'm wanting to read again. Like, I'm just wanting to do more chill things like that. Like I said, that nervous energy, it's kind of dissipating. And it's interesting because, like, I just don't have tolerance for other people that are like that anymore. And I probably will. Like, I'm recovering, but it's slow. Like, it's like piece by piece, right? So I think I probably will be more tolerant once I have more energy to work with. But right now I'm like middle leaning towards high or leaning towards normal. So like middle bad, leaning normal. So it's like I'm not necessarily relying on adrenaline and estrogen and stuff like that, but I'm not like thriving at this point, especially with the seasonality, which the winter has, we're getting into winter and it has been very hard. The cold has made this much harder, but I think I'm doing really well despite it. I think any shot that I had that I was diabetic is gone with the exercise and with the reduction in PUFAs. I'm going on almost 9 months now. It'll be 9 months, December 15th. That's a very long time where I've had a very strict diet. I have not deviated from these things. And lastly, before I go, I just want to mention vitamin E. So I did discover something this past week as well, where if you have eaten a lot of PUFAs in your life for a few years, you have a higher vitamin E requirement. And that makes this diet challenging because most foods that have PUFAs have vitamin E. So in order to be PUFA free and get enough vitamin E, it's a little bit challenging. And typically, if you're not eating a lot of PUFAs and you don't have a lot in your system, then you don't require as much vitamin E. You can actually have, the small amount that's in animal products, dairy, all these different things that it is in, by the way. It's in eggs, it's in, dairy, it's in all these different foods, these animal products, especially dairy and eggs. So that small amount in those foods is enough, but your body uses vitamin E to detoxify PUFAs, to get rid of the free radicals that are released when they're burned and to get rid of it. So I think I was really low in vitamin E because I was on like a low vitamin E, low PUFA thing, but I still have all the PUFAs in my system. So I found a solution. Funnily enough, it's in this cake frosting, this Miss Jones frosting, which uses palm oil as its basis, and palm oil is a saturated fat and it has a lot of vitamin E. So I've been eating a lot of that. I feel like I'm trying to build up my vitamin E stores because I think I run out. And I've noticed since I've done that, there's a bit of a reduction in diarrhea, a bit of a reduction in different detox symptoms that I've been having, which is great. So I think I'm either recovering enough to the point where I am either getting over diarrhea or I'm getting over these different things. We'll see how that goes. Maybe if I after the Thanksgiving food is gone and stuff, it'll start to come back. But not only am I improving in that sense, but I think the vitamin E is helping a lot. So I'm going to keep going, and I'll let you guys know how I go. But thank you guys for listening. I will talk to you guys again soon. Bye.